Thank you so much, Dr. Sebi, for being here with us again, and we'd like to let everybody know that this is part 2 of our interview with Dr. Sebi and his life's journey.
Part 2. Part 2 will begin with the African bio-mineral balance. It was first mentioned on its surface in 1988 in the Supreme Court of New York. When I mentioned the African bio-mineral balance, opposed to all the others as I mentioned before, the Ayurvedic, the yin-yang, the macrobiotic, and the homeopathic, well, Dr. Victor Herbal responded by saying, "I've never heard of such a thing." I said, "He's right. Your Honor, Dr. Victor Herbert hasn't heard about the African bio-mineral balance." But we have to remind the good doctor that he have not heard of a whole lot of other things. And the African bio-balance happened to be one of those things that he doesn't know about. The judge said, "What is the African bio-balance?" The African bio-balance, Your Honor, is a therapeutical approach that addresses disease on 2 levels. 1, cleanses the body. An intracellular cleansing. Not only we concentrate on cleansing the organ, we concentrate on cleansing the cells that makes up the organ. This is a system that I developed that many believe that they could carry on and replicate it. Well, the fact of the matter is nobody have in the history of curing any disease but the African bio-mineral balance. The cleansing. Now we go to the revitalizing of the cells. As we cleanse the body, we have to now replenish the mineral that has been lost by the presence of the acid that caused the disease in the first place. That means biobalance comes into the picture. The biobalance is the family of 102 minerals. Why? Because we are talking about organic food. We are talking about cell food. Cell food has to be electrical. If it isn't electrical, how could it nourish you? Because the human body is electrical, so the food has to be electrical. For there to be what? Chemical affinity, they call it. With chemical affinity, there is assimilation, there is production. Meaning, you digest it, it goes into your body and does the work you want it to do. But if that substance isn't a native plant, that substance is non-electrical. It's a hybrid. It's acid-base. Now, you may ask me, well, Dr. Sebi, how did you arrive to separate yourself from all the other modalities and arrive at the African biobalance? It was a naked woman in the jungle. You see, I kept hearing the philosophies of many. But then, I could never arrive at a meaningful point that would make sense. But every time I look at this black woman naked in the forest, I would get these grandiose ideas. But other people are telling me that she's naked. I didn't see her naked because God did not make any clothes. She was natural. 100%. But the word misinterpretation come into the equation now. Misinterpretation. Why? When the foreigner saw Mama without no clothes on, oh my God, that's preposterous. But where was their brain? What were they entertaining psychologically that they saw Mama as being naked? No. Mama lived natural. Mama didn't have any clothes on. And this conversation came up in Brazil by a Russian to me. And Mama didn't have any clothes on. Mama didn't have any hospitals. Mama didn't have any medicine. Mama didn't have any supermarket. Mama didn't have any doctors. Mama didn't have any alcohol. Mama didn't have any drugs. Mama did not have any jewel on her body, no paint. And last but not least, Mama didn't have any money. But there was one thing that was very significant with Mama that we overlooked, totally overlooked. The food that Mama was eating. Yeah. The food had to be very significant in her life journey because she didn't have any disease. Mama didn't need to be vaccinated. So when I look at Mama, and this what I just mentioned resonated in my brain, I began looking for herbs in and out of Africa that were alkali. Why? Because they and they alone are electrical. So naturally, I'm before the Supreme Court and they want me to bring all these witnesses. Well, I brought 77 people to the Supreme Court. 10 times more than what they wanted. So everybody is around me was enthused. And so was I. I said, yeah, brother, at least you are deploying words that has value, that has foundation. And now you have become a servant to your people. You have become a servant to your people. So now, the first law in understanding that you are a servant is that you're going to be obedient. Yes, you're going to be obedient to everyone. So in other words, as you become a servant, you become a butt kisser. And it is a good position. My brothers and sisters around me now, upon knowing that this was done, sickle cell was cured, diabetes and herpes and the rest, Dr. Sebi, why Oprah Winfrey haven't interviewed you? I don't know. Why Al Sharpton haven't interviewed you and support you? I don't know. Why any of the leaders? I said, I don't know. But today, I want you all to know this. All of you that have been bothering me with this question, don't ask me that question anymore. Ask it to those people that you feel should know. Maybe they may be oblivious to what I've done. Because Miss Oprah Winfrey is a beautiful lady. You know, we know all of us love her. She promoted a book, they call it A Million Broken Little Pieces. And the reason why she did that, because she thought that the individual was truthful, because she, Oprah, lived a truthful life. And it's beautiful to be that way. Well, I only want to send a message out to all of the leaders, the so-called leaders, male and female. There is a book out with diagnostic sheets showing that we have reversed AIDS. This is not a claim that we are making that is empty. No. Sebi. Sebi's integrity is above all else. And I would never sacrifice that for you and to nobody. So what I deploy, rest assured, it is the truth. Although I'm constantly living a period of life, in an era of life, in which you could be truthful, you could be right, you could also be dead right. I live in that society. I live in a society where I could easily go and buy narcotics. I could buy all kinds of drugs. I could buy alcohol. But my mama didn't have that environment. She was clean. And this is why I always live in the environment that is sinless. I could not be sinful. How could I be sinful when I came from a sinless mother? My mama, after describing her with the above, tell me what part of her should be considered sinful, that I, her son, would also be known to be such as that, sinful. No, I'm sinless, because mama, you were sinless, and I love you.